Hey folks, I hope you're all doing okay. Welcome back to Elemental Cartomancy. I am coming on today to do a quick flip through of this I Ching deck. Now, this is a deck that I got when I was on holiday in Gran Canaria. I have shown it a couple of times now on lives, but I've not done a full flip through. So I'm going to do that just now. Before I actually show you the deck, I want to quickly show you my cheat sheet that I've created for the I Ching. So I've also talked about this during my lives as well, but I've only just finished it. So this is it. This is my I love a kind of a one-page cheat sheet for things. I know that it's not by no means is it a way to learn the entire system, but it's good for as a kind of a quick reference guide for when you're using things like this. So we've got the 8 trigrams at the top, the 8 trigrams down the side, and then the 64 hexagrams are in this 8 by 8 table. So if I want, for example, earth over lake, then I go to the earth on the top and then lake down the side. So earth over lake is hexagram 19 and I've called it spring is coming. Now, in order to put this together, I've used a mixture of the traditional hexagram titles, which I just got from online, and uh, the hexagram kind of a keywords that Benebell has and the little white book, the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. So in these last couple of pages, she has the hexagram titles here, as you can see. So just a mixture of kind of that and looking at the traditional titles and just coming up with um, what resonates most with me. Some of these I've actually renamed them to something more or less the same, but that makes more sense to me. But anyway, the deck comes in kind of a tuck box. It has this kind of a little white book, medium white book. I'm not sure what you would refer to this as. And I mean, to be fair, the deck has a fantastic amount of information on each card. So obviously the book has a fantastic amount of information on each card. Obviously, I can use the book as well, but it's for me it's good to have this quick reference guide so that I can see at a glance what the title is because as you're going to see when we flip through the cards, the titles aren't on there. Okay. Um, so the cards are pretty much standard tarot size. So that's then compared to a standard tarot size. These are the backs of the cards. So really nice backs. That's kind of a reddish colour. They look more orange on the screen, but they're more red in person. Um, and yeah, beautiful kind of I was going to say everyday cardstock. I'd say this is quite similar to like your Make Playing Cards, Superior Smooth cardstock, to be honest. That's or like your US Games type cardstock. It's good. Um, so with each card, we're getting, and I'm going to zoom in here. In fact, no, I'm not. So the cards have, if I can hold this up, they have the hexagram number here, and they also have the 2 trigrams kind of on them. The symbol for the trigrams on the cards. So this one, for example, hexagram 1 is heaven over heaven. And heaven is 3 solid lines. Okay. If I can just show you the 8 trigrams that we have. So we have heaven, which as you can see, I've got it with the 3 solid lines here. Earth is the 3 broken lines. And then mountain, solid line at the top. Lake, broken line at the top. Water, solid line in the middle. Fire, broken line in the middle. Thunder, solid line on bottom. Wind, broken line on the bottom. So these are the kind of symbols that we're looking for in the cards. So like I was saying, this is heaven over heaven because we've got three broken lines, three broken lines. Okay, so you have an upper trigram and a lower trigram that makes the hexagram. Okay, so let's zoom in and do a wee flip through. And I'll chat to you as I'm doing this, and I'll tell you what the upper and the lowers are, and what the keyword is from my cheat sheet. So let's see. That's probably about decent. So as we've said, heaven over heaven, hexagram 1, and the keyword for this is creative power. We then have number 2, which is earth over earth, hexagram 2, and the keyword is supportive power. Okay, so you can kind of see here that it's almost like this wee red dot could indicate like the sun or some sort of power, some sort of force, and it's almost like it's been cradled here. It's like it's been supported. Hexagram 3. So I think this is water over thunder. Yeah, water over thunder. And hexagram 3 is initial challenge. Hexagram 4, we've got mountain over water, and it's inexperience. So it's actually quite cool because we have something that almost looks like the fool here, if you're used to the tarot. The person going off about to fall off the mountain. And the fool in the tarot is, a lot to do with inexperience. For hexagram 5, we have water over heaven. Okay, so you can see the hexagram is here. And the keyword that I've got for this is patience. For hexagram 6, we've got heaven over water. And the keyword is entitlement. Hexagram 7, earth over water. And this is discipline. For hexagram 8, we have water over earth, and the keyword is alliances. For hexagram 9, we have wind over heaven, and the keyword that I've got here is soft power. So it's almost like this person is casting a circle, and it's this almost looks like a storm that's coming, a storm that's brewing. Okay, so for 10, heaven over lake. And for this one, I've got go with caution. For 11, we've got earth over heaven, which is harmony. For 12, heaven over earth, and that's stalemate. 13, heaven over fire, fellowship. So you see the crowd are all kind of a joined hands in harmony. 14, that looks like fire over heaven. Yep, great possessing. For 15, earth over mountain, humility. Looks like a scarecrow, doesn't it? I think it is meant to be a scarecrow. So for 16, thunder over earth, enthusiasm. So 17, lake over thunder, inspiring others. So it looks as though this person is kind of a jumping in jumping in, looking through this portal, they're doing something, taking some sort of risk, and these others are kind of watching on. 18, mountain over wind. And this is decay. So things are kind of falling apart. Decay and the actions that we take in order to build up from decay. So in order to put things right. 19, earth over lake. Spring is coming. I think the traditional keyword for this is approaching, or title. Approaching. But Benabel called it spring is coming, or spring is approaching, and I quite like that because I like the idea of that sense of renewal is coming, you know, something new. 20, wind over earth, I think. Yep, contemplation. Looks like someone meditating on top of the hexagram. 21. So we have fire over thunder. And this is gnawing bite or pushing through. So it looks like this force, these waves are approaching this kind of a big mass. So there's a big challenge to come and you have to push through. So for 22 we have, is it mountain? Mountain over fire. Beauty and grace. 23, mountain over earth. Splitting and division. 24, earth over thunder. Turning point. So this, I do maths, I tutor maths and I did maths at uni. And the turning point, we talk about the turning point of a parabola. It's the changing direction of it, you know. So this is like a parabola here, kind of, and it's increasing, and right in the center we get this turning point when it changes from increasing to decreasing. That's the turning point or the stationary point of a parabola. So that's quite cool. That's kind of what that makes me think of. Okay, 25 we have heaven over thunder, pure intentions. For 26, mountain over heaven, controlled power. So this person's maybe approaching a mountain and they're looking ahead, they're looking for the best route ahead, so they're controlling their resources, do you know what I mean? They're controlling how they're going to go about the task. Controlled power. 27. So we have mountain over thunder, I think. Receive nutrition. 28, we have lake over wind. Great exceeding. 29, we have water over water. Pitfalls and perils. 30 is fire over fire. Emotional cling. 31, lake over mountain. Social influence. 32, thunder over wind. Endure and persevere. 33 is heaven over mountain. Retire, retreat. 34, thunder over heaven. Great power. Fire over earth for 35. Progress. 36, earth over fire. Darkened light. This is when the power of something is diminished. We actually have this dark cloud coming over what appears to be the sun in the picture. 37 of wind over fire. Family. 38 fire over lake. Polarizing. So the brush strokes here are quite opposite or polar to each other. 39. That's water over mountain. Difficulty. 40 is thunder over water. Redemption. 41 mountain over lake. Diminished. If you think of the spiral, it's going downwards, it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller as it goes down, it's being diminished. 42. So this is wind over thunder. Ascension on the ascent. Things are looking up. 43. Lake over heaven. Decisive action. 44. Heaven over wind. Meeting. Coming together. 45. It's lake over earth. Gathering. 46. Earth over wind. Hoist up. 47. Lake over water. Oppression. 48. Water over wind. Return to origins. And this is sometimes called the well. Look at a picture of a well here. 49 is lake over fire. Revolution. 50 is fire over wind. Alchemy, or the cauldron. 51 we have thunder over thunder. Sharp turn. 52 mountain over mountain. Quiet heart. 53 wind over mountain. Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. Thunder over lake is 54. Moderation and compromise. Thunder over fire for 55. Abundance. Fire over mountain for 56. It's the wanderer. 57. Wind over wind. Gentle force. 58 we have lake over lake. A joyous exchange. Looks like a performance, doesn't it? Almost looks like someone's maybe dancing on a stage and these people are cheering them on, so joyous exchange. 59. Wind over water. Disperse. 60. We have water over lake. Limitation. Boundaries. 61. 61 we have wind over lake. Inner truth. See a person looking in the mirror. For 62 we have thunder over mountain. Thunder mountain. Focus on the details. Focus on the small things. 63 is water over fire after completion. And then 64 is fire over water before completion. So there we go, a flip through of the I Ching deck. This is based on the ancient wisdom of China and the style of classical Chinese watercolor painting. And I didn't say who this was by. This is by Klaus Holitzka. Okay, so thanks very much for watching, everyone. Hope you've enjoyed this. Give it a wee thumbs up if you have. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.